like to welcome Kyle to my audience. Welcome to the DCM show. It's a great time to be here.
Thanks, it's great for you to have me.
Thanks, yeah. So first off, I'm going to ask, what do you like about sports? You look like a sporty guy.
I think like sports, it's just a very energetic and it just really keeps you going and all that. Like for me, I've played volleyball and basketball for about 6 years, and 3 years when I was in high school, I was the manager for the basketball team, and even so, like I practiced with the guys, and yeah, like I just enjoyed sports a lot. Like I played a lot of sports, I knew a lot of sports, so yeah.
Cool, and you mentioned some sports like basketball. Could you list some of your favorite sports to us?
Well, like I said, like I played volleyball and basketball for a few years, but I think I also excuse me for a moment. I think what I also like is hockey, because of course, I tend to watch a lot of hockey over the years, and I also like soccer in particular, because especially European soccer, because yeah, like back in when I was in Europe, like when I first stumbled into a football stadium, which is English terms for soccer, like I enjoyed viewing the sport in a stadium perspective, and I actually got to see a real live soccer game when I was in Italy just last year.
I'm a big fan of soccer myself, so could you mention some of your favorite players in soccer? Or just like maybe teams?
I just like this sport very recently, so I don't know a whole lot of players, but surely enough, what the teams I do like are in the Dutch league. I like Ajax Amsterdam because, of course, the Netherlands is my ancestral land, and I thought, hey, I might as well cheer on for Ajax Amsterdam. I also like Fiorentina, which is an Italian team based in Florence, and that was actually the team I went to go see play when I was in Italy just last spring.
Cool. And you mentioned also hockey. What do you think Canadian identity brings to hockey?
I think for Canadian identity, it's like we show quite an image when it comes to hockey. I mean, we show great patriotism when it comes to hockey as well. Like it's like soccer almost, except the only difference is that at the end of the game, if you end up losing, you don't kill the opposing team over this. But yeah, like we just I think it just brings a true image to Canada, as there's nearly hockey teams in nearly every town, every city, and I just think it's a great way of how we show on what Canada is about, and if we introduce, and it's commonly known. So if a Canadian person wants to play this sport, I don't know, in the U.S. or in Finland or something, then by all means go ahead. We're known for that. Like we know how to play.
You pointed out an interesting point there about how soccer players and fans become so involved that they might kill each other. Unfortunately, how do you think that will shape the things that happen in Paris? How do you think that will shape soccer world?
Oh, that is.
I know, a tough question.
I know, and believe me, much of the millions of people that were very affected by this tragedy, like especially near a stadium filled with millions of people. I was devastated about this, but I actually heard that during the French-England friendly match against each other, the English folks, they really showed some sportsmanship towards the French team, and I thought that was great. Like you don't see that every day, especially when it comes to soccer, because they are very patriotic, regardless of what city or country it is. But although, as time goes past, I don't know if this will continue on or not, because, as I said before, they're very patriotic. And with that said, I don't think there will be a possibility that this will continue. This will probably just die down
Mhm.
after the Paris attacks was just a past event.
Mhm. Do you think there'll be any more security measures put in place at stadiums because of this?
I'm not 100% sure on that because believe me, like security measures around, like in and around soccer fields are very, very tight. Like literally, you have literally in soccer stadiums, you have bulletproof glass that are especially made for the visiting team section, and you have police officers who are in riot gear who are trying to stand guard without trying to have a riot clash. And also, right before you enter the stadium, like literally, I had to have my passport on me in order to enter the stadium with my ticket.
Yeah.
Like that's quite the scary measures that has happened. Like, but I think more, but with the security measures, with this, I don't think it's more towards like when it comes to sports. I think it's more just towards politics, especially considering that one of the terrorist attacks was a refugee. Like, there's got to be like some more. There's got to be some more like screening on the refugees that come through here, especially when they come through our most developed cultures like Canada and the United States. Like you gotta like there's gotta be more of a screening process to make sure that they are legit refugees, or they're posing as one and they're really fighting for something drastic.
That was a great answer there. I liked it. One last question here. You mentioned you went to the soccer stadium in Europe. What kind of experiences were there? The crowd is probably insane.
Well, I went to two different soccer stadiums. Like the first one I went to was in Amsterdam, and it was not so much for a soccer match. It was more for a tour of the stadium, and it was actually very, very interesting. Like I got to see the whole general aspect, and got to go behind the scenes a bit and see Ajax's dressing room and their press conference room. And I thought, wow, this is very cool. But when it came to the real game in Florence, like I was really, really amazed by it. Like almost in an instant, like that. Like when the game just got started, like I was literally starting to get involved with the game, even though I hardly knew soccer, and I literally just started watched a bit of the World Cup. But anyways, but I just got so in depth with the sport of Florence playing in their stadium, and even though it was like raining and it was like cold and stuff like that, like I still got involved. I still was very interested in the sport and cheered on for the home team, etc., etc. But one thing's for certain is if you do end up going to Europe and you end up getting tickets to a soccer match, please cheer on for the home team. Otherwise, you will get slaughtered.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
We can wrap it up there, Kyle.
Okay, sweet. Thank you for joining the DCM show.